Hello, this is Malorian, and this is going to be a 2,500 point game of my Orcs against Empire. So the story behind this game is that my one friend had another friend that was just basically getting into fantasy. He played 40k before, and he was looking for some competitive games, and so he gave him my name, and here we are. So I went over to his place. I brought my standard top 25 100 point list. And so on my side, what I'm going to be having is I'm going to have my Troll Horde, I'm going to have my Savage Orc Biggin Horde, with in there is going to be my Great Shaman with the Shrunken Head and Potion of Toughness. I have 101 Night Goblins with 3 bosses and a BSB. And then I also have my Black Orcs and some Fast Cav. And I also have a Bunker, but this is meeting engagement, and they didn't start on. But that's not too bad, because for my opponent, sorry, he had 2 big blocks of halberdiers with warrior priests in them. He had his big block of his great swords, and in there he has his arc lector and his BSB. And then he has 3 cannons, 3 mortars, pistoliers, 10 of them, and also 10 knights. And both sets of knights there, the pistoliers and the knights, and 1 cannon, 1 mortar, all started off the board. As well, actually, I think the arch lector started off as well. So, for the most part, that wasn't too bad for him. I mean, of course, the war machines can't shoot, but the pistoliers and the knights, that's almost a good thing, because now he gets to kind of counter me. But he's going to get the first turn here. Basically, my thoughts going into this is that I already kind of know that whatever I set up as an elite unit against his great swords will knock him down really well. The only thing I was worried about is maybe they had the flaming banner. So at any rate, I decided to have my knights in the far, or my trolls in the far left, because if his knights come in and decide to pick on my trolls, my puke will kill them in no time. So he gets the first turn, all of his stuff comes on. The magic phase for him is going to be pretty unimportant. The odd time he gives his guy like a ward save or something, but really, it's, if it's ever important, I dispel it in my turn. But all he really does is have his knights come on the far left, looking at my flank. He has pistoliers that are staying back from my fast cav, and that's great, because if he wants to play cat and mouse with my fast cav, they're only 60 points, so that's perfect. I don't want them baiting or anything like that. Otherwise, no, it didn't get too much done with his war machines, because 2 of them couldn't shoot because they came on. Other ones you had scattering. You had 2 different misfires there, and so looking around here, it looks like I'm only missing 1 black orc. So pretty much not too much being done by the Empire in their first turn. So my turn 1, animosity is all passed, same as stupidity. In fact, my animosity is passed every single time. I got really lucky. But anyway, it's pretty simple. It was all just run straight up. You can see the archers came on. I tried doing Foot of Gork. He dispelled it. I got through Hand of Gork and put those black orcs right in his face. My wolves are staying back because, if he wants to be doing anything, he'll either have to try and turn and be facing the black orcs, and then I'll get a flank charge, or he'll have to come after me and kind of pull himself away from the main fight. So that's it so far. And, if he charges me, that's what I'm kind of hoping here, but I'm guessing he's not. So, Empire turn 2. He has his knights that come and swing back over to try and be facing my flank. They're kind of in a weird position there, because I thought he was worried about line of sight because he has a cannon on the far left there as well. But anyway, with the wheel, they're going to be fine anyway. His pistoliers come down and kill 2 of my wolves, but I passed my test. And otherwise, let's see, 1 cannon goes into my trolls. It does 2 wounds, and then he has some mortars going into my night goblins. And really, this is exactly what I want. I mean, so many people, when they have these template weapons, just can't help shooting at those night goblins because it's pretty much impossible to miss. However, look at them. I've lost something like 35, and it doesn't really matter. They're still fully effective, when really what you should be going after is my big elite units. If those mortars are raining down onto my black orcs or something, it'd be a lot more dangerous. Alright, so my turn 2, and this was horrible. My trolls failed their stupidity. Their leadership 8 because of the general. My BSB is a little bit too far back. And so instead of of charging, I stumble 6 inches forward into this forest, and not only am I not getting the charge off and I'm going to get shot more, but of course, with 6 inches, it was just enough. So even with that placement of his knights, I'm still now in his line of sight. If I just would have been stupid and gone up 2 inches, it wouldn't have mattered. And now I'm going to be getting those knights in my flank. And if you look at this overall picture, you can see that wasn't all the bad luck I had. Okay, so the trees on the left, my guys went into them, turned out to be a blood forest. Whatever, no big deal. The forest on the right was actually a fungus forest. And when I had used my Hand of Gork to move up my black orcs, I very, very stupidly put them like one little tiny bit into the forest, had to take my test, and guess what? I failed. I couldn't believe it, but that's just the way it goes. So, even though I should be engaging both halberdier units this turn, there you go. Otherwise, you can see that my wolves just moved to the flank of the pistoliers just to, keep them turned away from the fight. And the great thing that happened this turn is I got off the big-footed Gork with irresistible force. Pretty much that's what I need because he gets an extra 4 dispel dice. And with that, I was able to kill 15 greatswords and about 15 halberdiers from the right unit. So lots of damage there. Luckily from the miscast wasn't too bad. I killed, 5 or something savages. Didn't actually end up having my shaman sucked into the warp. So overall, not too bad magic-wise, but man, you can only imagine what would happen if I had the combats going on already. So now it's the Empire turn 3, and the first thing he does, he charges these knights into my flank like we saw coming, and worse yet, this is where I learned these guys have the flaming banner. Alright, so end of his turn, it looks like this. His pistoliers went and finished off my wolves, that's fine. His halberdiers on the right take the opportunity to go and reform into ranks. His shooting has killed some savage orcs, so that's pretty bad. But boy, on the left, I dodged a bullet here because with his attacks, he managed to do 4 wounds to me, so killing the injured troll and the other one there, and pukes back because I had the 3 over there, killed 3 knights. So he beats me 1 by kills. He has a charge, he has a flank, he has a banner. I still have my 2 ranks, but I still lose by 2, and I thought I was steadfast until I realized, oh wait, no, I had stumbled into a forest. So this was just horrible. I'm testing on leadership 6, and luckily I pass. So yeah, I got pretty lucky there. So my turn 3, I feel it's time to turn things around, and I charge my savage orcs into his great swords, and I should be wiping the vast majority of them out before they even get the swing. And our 2 generals are going to be in a challenge. So, I downed the potion of strength. This guy has the little item where we can switch stats, but it's pretty useless because I only have 1 attack. He doesn't want to steal that, and even though my toughness is better, his weapon skill is better. So, he might as well keep his own. Alright, so in the turn it looked like this. The black orcs failed stupidity again, so that's why they're still not fighting. Otherwise, units are moving up. Those Night Goblin archers are now actually in that building. The trolls, they lost a couple more wounds, puked over, lost by 1 because of the musician, and luckily again held. This is just getting pretty lucky over on that side. If you look over on his greatswords, though, totally slaughtered them, just like I thought. One thing that we kind of messed up here is that then he decided that he was going to combat reform them and make it so that they're 5 wide. So I think there was about 5 models in the front, including the 2 characters, and then about 4 in the back. But you can't do that to be taking models out of combat. We didn't realize until the following combat when he tried going into a Congo line, but whatever. So Empire turn 4. He turns his halberdiers to face the flank of my savages, and so I really need to get out of that combat quick. He has his pistoliers that are shooting my black orcs, so I'm taking some losses there. And then the combat the trolls, now I'm winning, but luckily he held, because man, if they broke, I'd be in that flank of those halberdiers like crazy. Alright, so my turn 4, and finally, hey, my black orcs didn't fail stupidity. Charged into those halberdiers, slaughtered them. It's 3+2+ is killing, so beat them all up, ran them down, and then I ended up just short of getting into the mortar there. The trolls finally kill all the knights, so that's fantastic. And yeah, when it came to this combat, he had very few models left. And so what I was going to do is I did half my guys go after the BSB. It's a 1+ save, whatever, or 2+ save rerollable, didn't matter, didn't do anything. And then the other ones were just trying to kill the last 2 greatswords. He passed 5 out of 6 5+ saves. So he had 1 guy left, they were still stubborn, and he held. So all I could do is now I combat reformed to try and go into ranks here, just really to hope that maybe the halberdiers will fail. I don't know, but yeah, that was kind of pathetic. So Empire turn 5, I get this halberdier horde in my flank, and all I can really hope to do is wipe out the last greatsword at least, so I can be getting my points back. And end of the turn, it looked like this. So, yeah, I killed the last greatsword. He beat me up. He ran me down. He's over there now. Did a little bit more shooting into my black orcs, more shooting into the the night goblins, and yeah, that's not good. But at least now I can counter. So what had actually happened here is that when the halberdiers were running after my fleeing savages, they actually just barely clipped the night goblins so that they're contacting over here. And also, luckily, especially because I had the BSB there to save the day, my trolls passed their leadership for stupidity. So they pass it, they charge it to the flank. So now this is exactly what I need to turn this, battle back onto my side. So, end of my turn 5, it looks like this. The Black Orcs destroyed the mortar and turned around. I just ripped apart those halberdiers. Mainly it's because my trolls hit almost everything, but yeah, slaughtered them. They weren't steadfast. Of course, all my great weapon guys really helped in there too, and ran them down, and now my trolls are into the mortars at the very top there. And after this, it didn't really matter. His guys came down here, tried to shoot up my guys in this one tower here. I shot back, did a wound to the BSB after he'd healed him, but that's the game. So, victory to the Orcs. Looking back on this battle, in a way, I'm actually a little bit happy that I failed those stupidity tests. It's just, if it wasn't for that, I can only imagine how one-sided this game would have been. I mean, if you just would have thought in that first round, if I could have made 2 Leadership 8 stupidity tests, both halberdiers could have been wiped out turn 2. And, wow, I mean, at least this made it more of a back and forth. I really did get lucky in return where my trolls held for 2 rounds when they were losing with those flaming horses on the flank. But in the end, I was able to turn things around. I'm really still kicking myself for being so stupid to Hand of Gork my Black Orcs into those fungus forests in the first place, but there you go. And, this guy's not usually part of my gaming group. We might get a rematch, but anyway, I hope you like this one. Okay, bye.